Hi there, I'm Gary Willcox. Hello, welcome to my living room. I'm going to talk about brushes, playing the drums of course, with brushes. Brushes, they're these pieces of wire which retract into the handle like that. Brushes were originally designed as around the sort of end of the 19th and beginning of the 20th century, believe it or not, as fly swatters. And you swat get your fly like that. They're quite good for that, I suppose. They've got these wires which are, as I say, which bend and have got a bit of spring in them like that. And around about the beginning of the 20th century, some bright spark discovered they were quite good for playing the drums with. They're quieter than sticks, and you can get them because of the nature of these wires and the sort of their bendiness. You can get different sound effects, different sounds with them on the surface of the drum. I'm going to run through a few of them. Using a single stroke roll, right, left, I'm left-handed, which some people might have immediately noticed. I'm going to be playing left-handed, but it's a right-handed world. Don't worry, I'm going to be talking right-handed, as it were. So as I say, a single stroke roll. First thing you would do with a single stroke roll, like you would with sticks, you just strike the drum ordinarily with the tips of the wires. And that's the sort of sound that you get, that's the sort of sound you get there, like that. There we go. Another one you could do, you could sort of slap the drum with the handle of the brush. I sort of loosened my grip there from your ordinary grip. I sort of loosened it slightly, so the sticks, so the wire, the brush, so the brushes get looser. And that gives you a bit more volume, a bit more power. So that's, let's say, normal. Let's go a bit slower. And then slapping the handle. I've got a sheet over here which I'm referring to. Here's another one. Let's go back to normal. And now I'm going to do a flick or a whip. As I say, these wires have got some bend in them, some spring, and you can and watch how I'm sort of flicking the wire and gripping it with my fingers there, pulling the stick into my hand, and you get a bit more attack. Bah! Whoops. First one wasn't very good. So we've got ordinary strokes, normal at the end of the wires. Slapping the drum with the handle of the brush. Flicking a bit more with whipping with the end of the wires. And now we've got another one, which is, the next one is unique to brushes, really. You definitely can't do anything like this with sticks or any others, and that's sweeping. You can see the drum head a bit better now. And I'm sweeping across the drum, keeping the wires on the drum for the entire length of the stroke. I'm left-handed, as I've already mentioned. If you imagine the drum to be a clock face, I'm going from 3 to 9. If you're right-handed, you'd go from 9 to 3. Sweeping. One thing it's easy to do, a mistake it's easy to make when you first try this, is that you go and you move too quickly across the surface of the drum. This is great, this is perfect for creating a legato sound. A legato sound are sounds that are joined together. Ba, 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 ba. So not ba, 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 ba. Another one that you can do here, these are all very common by the way, I haven't invented any of these. You can do this. I'm striking one brush over the other. If you're right-handed, I'd strike the left brush with the right brush. And as you can see, the brushes sort of flutter like that, don't you? And as you do, and they're still fluttering, you're going to lower the brushes down onto the surface of the drum. Like that. Can't really do right, left doing that, can you? You could do, but it's very awkward and uncomfortable. So if you want, you could try it, but I wouldn't recommend it. That's another one. Here's another one as well. There's the surface of the drum, this is just to show. I'm just going to press the brushes into the drum like that. So it just sort of deadens the sound of the drum. I'm just going to change the internal dampener on this snare drum. You might be able to hear. There we are. Dampening the sound of the drum there just by pressing the wires onto the drum. That's what it sounds like ordinarily without the, I had this dampener on now, I've just adjusted that. Slapping. Flicking. Whipping. Sweeping. Cross stick. A pupil of mine called this duck feet. We call it that, let's call it duck feet. Just damping the sound of each stroke by keeping the wires on the drum. And another one here. Again, we're going to get the brush to flutter like that because, as I say, they've got this spring in the wires. So we're going to get the brush to. I suppose that's the same, isn't it? We're getting the same as a cross stick in that we're getting the wires to flutter like that, but we're using the rim of the drum, and then you can go right, left, right, left. And I call that rim rattling. I'm striking the rim, and there you go, the brush flutters like that, and again, and we're going to move the wire into the surface of the drum like that. We could try mixing a couple of them together, couldn't we? What about sweeping? And flicking. This is all right, left, or left, right, left, right. Mixing the rhythm around a bit now. sweeping, I did a bit of flicking, and got a bit of rim rattling in there. So that's some different sounds you can use on brushes, all using a single stroke roll. Here are some patterns that use a bit of both of those. Here, I'm going to play a basic jazz pattern. Goes like this. I'm doing just tapping normally with one brush, and I'm sweeping with the other. To begin with, you could just try playing crotchets, quarter notes with one hand and sweeping quarter notes with the other hand. Difficult to do slowly. Brushes are generally, I suppose, used in jazz, or I suppose, well, that's where they were originally used. But certainly quieter forms of music, quieter styles of music. You probably wouldn't hear, brushes being used in heavy metal or heavy rock. They're just not loud enough. You certainly hear brushes being used by, sort of singer-songwriters. Or drummers playing for singer-songwriters. Steve Gadd in playing for James Taylor, for instance, you'll hear him using brushes. You wouldn't hear Lars Ulrich in Metallica using brushes. Probably not. I'm sure he could, but it just doesn't suit the music. They're not loud enough. So a lot of these patterns you see jazz drummers using them more often. Just suits the music more. So there's, as I say, I've added something with the feet now. What was that I was singing? That was a Nora Jones song, wasn't it? Again, it's the sort of style of music that the brushes are suited for. So what did I do? I went from swing feel, and then I went to an even eighth feel. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Here's another good one, Bossa Nova. I like this one, if I can get it right. Bossa Nova rhythm. Brushes are good for that. They're sort of imitating the sort of shaker sound that you get in Brazilian music. I'm going to use both brushes in one hand. I'm going to do this sort of, instead of an up-down movement, I'm going to do this sort of swivelling thing, right to left, with my leading hand. my left hand, most other people's right hand. Could do that. Personally, I prefer that. So that sound, get a slightly more percussive sound because the brush actually lifts off the surface instead of just purely sweeping on the drum all the time. That's a good one. Another very common one that drummers do with brushes is just... What am I doing now? Let me show you the drum. Circular patterns with each hand, same hand. With each hand, same pattern. One, and I'm going over the top, over the top, over the top, over the top. To get that little backbeat, I'm just pulling the brush down onto the drum, just to give it a little emphasis, a little accent there. Let me bring in the cymbal here, because I tell you what I haven't thought of is brushes have got a ring end. There, metal. So you can use that. That's a nice sound. So there we go, there's a few different things you can do with brushes. Different sounds. Different patterns, different combinations of those sounds. There we go. That just gives you an idea of some of the things that are available, some of the sounds that are available with brushes. Thanks very much.